Hello everyone, welcome back. In this video, we are going to set up an AI patrol system. This patrol system will make the AI patrol between patrol points. We will implement functionality to loop the patrol path and to reverse the patrol path. So let's get started. The first thing that we're going to do is let's move our AI somewhere that the AI can patrol. This will be a good location here. Okay, now let's get our player start, and let's turn that around 180 degrees. Let's move that back here. Now let's go to our combat system blueprints AI. Let's go to our example enemy behavior tree. Let's go ahead and add a sequence. If you recall from our previous lectures, a sequence executes their children from left to right until one of them fails. Sequences are very useful when you want to execute a list of tasks in order, and you want the entire branch to cancel if one of the tasks fail. And so this will be very useful for our patrol system, but we are going to need a few tasks. So let's go ahead and create a new task, and let's create a new folder. We'll call this one behavior tree nodes. Okay. And now we'll have this one as T underscore for task, and this one will be set movement speed. Because when the character is patrolling, we want his movement speed to be a bit lower. We want the enemy to walk to each patrol point. Let's go ahead and save that, and it will open it for us by default. And now we need to add an event receive execute AI. And so in this one, it gives us a reference to the owner controller and the controlled pawn. The controlled pawn is the AI character blueprint. So from the controlled pawn, let's get component by class. And the component that we want to get is we want the character movement component. And from the character movement component, let's set max walk speed. Okay, and let's go ahead and promote that to a variable, and we'll call it movement speed. Okay, and after that, we need to run finish execute. So that way we can tell the behavior tree that this set movement speed node has finished. Okay, and now we need to make this movement speed variable instance editable. So select that eye icon there. So that way, whenever you add it here, so whenever we add set movement speed, we can select it, and as you can see, the movement speed variable shows up, and we can manipulate it from here. Let's create a default value of 400. Okay, and we're going to set it here to 150. Okay, and now we need a way to make the AI move to the next patrol point. But in order to do that, we're going to need a patrol location that we want the AI to move to. And to get the enemy AI to move to a patrol location, we need a way to set a target location for the AI to move to. So in order to do that, let's go ahead and select the root node here. And for Blackboard asset, let's select our BB underscore base. Okay, now go to our Blackboard. And let's add a new key. And this will be a vector. Let's call this one target location. Okay, let's go back to the behavior tree. And so now we need to update the target location. So let's create a new task. We'll put this in behavior tree nodes, and we'll call this one T underscore find next patrol point. Okay. Okay, let's create a new variable. This will be of type Blackboard key selector. We will call this one target location. Okay, and we're going to need another one. And this one will be patrol index. And we need to make both of these instance editable. Okay, let's go back to the Blackboard and let's create a new variable, and this will be of type int. And this will be patrol index. And now let's go back to our find next patrol point node. Now we are going to need patrol path points. So in order to do that, we need to go to combat system, blueprints, AI. Let's open up the master AI. Okay, now let's create a new variable, and this will be of type target point. Okay, And we need to turn this into an array. And let's name this one patrol points. And this will be the AI's patrol locations. We need to make this instance editable so we can edit this variable from the world. And I'm going to make the category patrol. Okay, now let's go back to the map and we can select the AI here. And here in the details panel, we should see patrol points. Here we go. Let's add 3 patrol points and let's add an asset. Search for target point and add the target point. There we go. So this is the starting location. Let's make it on the ground. There we go. Now let's copy the patrol point and paste it, and let's move it about here. Would be good. And let's copy it and paste it again. We'll move it about here. And that is our patrol path. Okay, now let's select our AI character. We will go ahead and select all of our target points here. Target point 2, and target point 3. Okay, save. Okay, let's go back to find next patrol point. Okay, and now let's add the event receive execute AI. And here from control pawn, let's cast to master AI. And let's promote to variable controlled master AI. Okay, and if cast failed, let's just finish execute, and success will be false. And now let's create a new function. Let's call this one set path location. Okay, let's get the controlled master AI. Let's get control points, get a copy, and the index will be the patrol index. So we can get value as int. And now we need to check if this is valid. And if it is not valid, then we need to return. And let's return an output of type boolean. This will be whether or not this was successful. And if this is not valid, then the function will fail. Okay, now we get the target location. Now let's set value as a vector. Okay, and from here we need to get vector location. Then we need to project point to navigation. And this will just project a point onto the navigation data for the AI. Plug that in here. And after that, let's return successful. Okay, compile and save. Okay, now let's call set path location. Let's add a condition check. If this was successful, then we can continue. If this was not successful, then we call finish execute. This will be false. This was not successful. Okay, now let's create a new function. We'll call this one increment path index. Okay, now we need to get the patrol index, and we need to get value as int. And we need to add 1 to this. So we add 1. Then we can set this to a local variable. L underscore patrol index. And now let's get the patrol index and let's set value as int. And the value will be the local patrol path index. Okay, let's go back and increment path index. Call that here on true. And now let's call finish execute. And this time it will be successful. Okay, let's go back to our behavior tree and let's called find next patrol point. And now this is very important that you set these. The target location will be the target location variable, and this variable is coming from our Blackboard. It's our target location. Okay, and patrol index will be the patrol index. Okay, go ahead and save. Okay, and now the next thing that we want to do is we want to call move to. And the location that we want the AI to move to will be the location that we just updated here, which is target location. So we can select here, the Blackboard key will be target location. Okay, and after that, we want the AI to wait a bit before going to the next patrol point, so we can add a wait task. We'll make the AI wait about 2 seconds. Okay. Okay, now let's test it out and see what happens. Nothing is happening. So let's go to our master AI and let's see if our controller class is not set. Okay. So it seems like we forgot to do that. BP_AI controller. Okay, compile and save. Another reason that this isn't working is that we forgot to add the navmesh bounds volume. It is very important that you add a navmesh bounds volume to any map that you want the AI to navigate, because a navmesh gives pawns the ability to pathfind their way through obstacles, over ramps, or to jump off ledges. So what we need to do is we need to select add, and here under volumes you will find navmesh bounds volume. Go ahead and select that, and it will add the navmesh bounds volume to your world. So we need to move that down here, and if you press the P key, it will go ahead and show you the navigation area. Okay, let's go ahead and press R so we can scale the navigation area. So let's make sure that it covers the entire area that we want the AI to navigate. Okay, and as you can see, the ground all has navigation, but some places up here do not have navigation, so we need to scale it up like this. There we go, and that looks pretty good. Okay, and to stop visualizing the nav area, go ahead and press the P key again. Let's test it out now. Okay, now it is working now, but our character is sliding. He's not moving his feet, so we need to update that. But otherwise, it is working. And let's also make it to where once the character reaches the end, he loops the patrol path in reverse. So, okay, so first let's fix the animations. So in order to do that, let's go to humanoid enemy. Let's select the mesh. Let's go to the animation blueprint for this character. Okay, so it looks like it's ABP many. Okay, let's go ahead and Control D to duplicate that. Let's go ABP_enemy man. Let's go move that to a new location. So let's go to Combat System, Blueprints, AI. Let's create a new folder, and we'll call this one Enemy Manny. And inside of this folder, let's go ahead and move our Enemy Manny animation blueprint. Okay, let's open it up, and I believe the issue is with this should move boolean. We do not need that for an AI, so let's go ahead and delete that. And remove that execution pin. Okay, now let's go to the anim graph. And here in the locomotion, looks like should move is a condition here. We do not want that. Let's see how this blend space is. Let's open it up, and do we have an idle? Yes, we do. Okay, so then that means we can just remove all of this, plug this in here. And yeah, we can leave that plugged in right there. Okay, now we need to update the enemy's animation blueprint. So select the mesh, search for enemy Manny. Okay, compile and save, and let's see if that fixed our issue. And yes, that issue is now resolved. The AI is walking to the different patrol points. But we still have the issue where when the AI reaches the end of the patrol path, he stops and does nothing. So to resolve that, let's go back to our find next patrol point, and let's create a new function. Let's call this one decrement path index. Okay, and decrement path index, we will get the patrol index. Let's get value as int, and let's subtract 1 from it. And we'll set that as a local variable, L_patrol index. Okay, if the local patrol index is greater than or equal to 0, then let's add a branch. If that is true, then let's get patrol index and let's set value as int. We will set the value as the local patrol index. Okay, now let's open up increment path index and let's add a check. If the local patrol index is greater than, let's get our controlled master AI and let's get patrol points. And from there, let's get the last index. So if the patrol index is greater than the last index, then we decrement path index. If that is false, then we set Blackboard as int, and we set the patrol index. Okay, now let's see what happens. As you can see, the enemy turns around and patrols in reverse. Except the enemy only goes between these 2 points. So we need to fix that. And what we can do to fix that is, let's create a boolean. And we'll call this one B should reverse. And this will be a private variable. Okay, and if this is true, we'll set should reverse to true. Okay, let's go to decrement path index, and if this is false, we'll set should reverse to false. And then after that, we will increment path index. So this will just basically create a loop for us. And if the patrol index is not greater than or equal to 0, that must mean that it is -1, in which case we should stop reversing and increment the path index, because that means we have decreased it by too much. And similarly, if the patrol index has exceeded the last patrol point, if it has, that means we have incremented it too much. And in that case, we reverse it. Okay, and now the only thing that we need to do is go back to the event graph, and here we are only incrementing the path index. So we need to add a condition check, and if should reverse is true, then we decrement path index. If should reverse is false, then we increment path index. And we can even add another boolean here, B should loop. And this one will be instance editable, so we are actually going to set this one. So that way we can determine if we want to be able to loop or not. Let's go to increment path index. And if should loop is true, then the path will loop. And let's make this true by default. Compile and save, and let's go ahead and test that out. And as you can see, it's working exactly as it's supposed to. The patrol system is working pretty well now, so I think this is a good stopping point. In this video, we have used a sequence and created custom task nodes. We have implemented a patrol system using target points to give the enemy a target location to move to. Our patrol path will loop once the enemy reaches the end of the patrol path. Thanks for watching. In the next video, we will implement AI perception.